Hello, and welcome to a spectacular update of my LEGO City project. In this video, we are starting a large project where we will create an entire street full of historic 18th century houses, cozy restaurants, and small shops. The street will be located between the road and the giant blue skyscraper. Since I enjoyed building historic buildings so much, I decided to expand the historic city center. The entire street will consist of 4 large 18th century buildings, including charming little restaurants and shops. It will be a street full of life and atmosphere, so let's get started on that. We will place classic street lamps along the entire sidewalk, which will greatly contribute to the atmospheric look of the street. We begin by finishing the paths around the area with light gray tiles, just like the rest of the streets in the city. We also place tiles where the houses will be. These will, of course, be built modularly. Each house will consist of 4 floors, all fully furnished. This is going to be a huge project, so let's get started with the first building. Since I want to build as realistically as possible, the different floors need to be accessible to the residents. Therefore, we will connect all 4 floors with stairs. The stairs have an L shape and will be placed in the corners of the house to take up as little space as possible. We had to create 6x8 stud gaps in the floor of each level where the stairs would fit precisely. This was a challenge, but once you figure out the right method, it can be applied to all the houses. As for the interior, we build everything in bulk. It saves a lot of time to build the same type of stairs and furniture multiple times. However, the exterior of all 4 buildings is unique, consisting of different architectural styles and colors. This means I had to make a total of 8 stairs, 4 identical ones and 4 others with the same construction. The stairs for both levels differ to align properly with the 3rd floor. As you've probably already noticed, the exterior of the first building is made of light brown masonry Lego bricks, combined with dark gray window frames. The corners of the building are made of white tiles, which is common in 18th century historic buildings. On top of the 3 floors, we will place an attic that is accessible via a ladder. This is something you often see in old houses, so it's fun to recreate it with Lego. The different floors are separated by light gray stripes, adding extra detail to the building. The challenge in building this is that it needs to look exactly the same on the outside, but must be finished with tiles so that the floors can easily be separated from each other. By placing many small windows and hanging lights by the front door, I've tried to add extra atmosphere to the building. This, combined with the slanted roof and the dormer, makes the design successful in my opinion. In the following images, you'll see how everything is modular and how easily the different floors can be separated from each other. This is necessary because we are going to fully furnish each floor of all 4 buildings. We start with the kitchen. The kitchen is equipped with a sink, an electric stove, and a large fridge with a freezer. Everything you need in a kitchen. Next to the kitchen, a nice white sofa will be placed, directly across from a table with a TV on it. I've equipped the sofa with round white bricks that give exactly the right effect of real cushions where you can comfortably sink in. The sofa also rests on legs, making it look even more like a real sofa. The table with the TV on top is placed next to the stairs, directly across from the sofa, so the residents can watch TV after a long workday. Now that we've furnished the living room to a large extent, we move on to an important part: the dining table. It will be a wooden table with 4 chairs around it. The chairs all rest on legs that are attached to tiles with a stud. These tiles are in the same light brown color that I used for the rest of the flooring. In my opinion, this comes closest to the color of a real wooden floor. We place a plant in the corner of the living room and finish the entire floor with tiles. Fortunately, this color of tiles is always available in the pick-a-brick wall at my local Lego store, so I can finish many floors and roofs of my buildings in the city with these bricks. Now that the floor is also finished, we place the residents of the house in their spots. At the dining table, the son is sitting with his best friend, enjoying a nice beer, while the man of the house is lounging on the sofa, watching TV after a long workday. The lady of the house is in the kitchen, preparing a delicious meal for her husband, son, and his best friend. And no, don't be mad at me. I'm not old-fashioned in this regard. I'm always the one who cooks in my household. Before we move on to the next floor, let's take a few close-up shots of the living room. Not bad, right? Now, let's continue with the second floor. The stairs have already been placed, and we'll build a wall that separates the 2 different rooms. This was a tricky construction since it had to connect to the stairs, and there are two doors to be incorporated. Where to place these doors requires careful thought, considering how this would be built in a real house to minimize space. Because we have limited space, various elements must also be incorporated into the wall itself, as I did for the bathroom where the mirror and sink are built into the wall. In the following images, you'll see how I did this in the same white color so that it's not visible on the other side of the wall. I also finished the top of the walls with white tiles so that the floor above can be placed modularly. Additionally, the bathroom is equipped with a toilet, which I place in the corner. On this floor is the master bedroom, which is directly connected to the bathroom without being separated by a door. This is a combination often seen in luxury homes like these. As you can see in the images, I've also incorporated the shower into the wall under the stairs. All buildings on this street are each 16 studs wide and 22 studs deep. This means there is very limited space to furnish the houses, so every stud counts. We place the toilet in its spot, and then we have all the necessary components for the bathroom. As I mentioned earlier, all the houses in this project have the same dimensions, so I can build certain elements in bulk. In the images, you can see that I've built the walls of the floors multiple times, so I had to build this construction 8 times. It was a lot of work, but in the end, it will save me a lot of time. You can also see in the images that I've built the bathroom components in bulk, as well as the furniture like sofas, tables, beds, nightstands, and even a few fireplaces. Of course, the fireplaces are a must in old houses like these. Furnishing the buildings takes by far the most work, so in this case, it must be done in bulk. Otherwise, it would take too much time if I did this for each house individually. Of course, I've made different cabinets and sofas in multiple colors. It would be odd if all the houses had exactly the same interior. When building interiors, a lot of technique is involved. You need to recreate something as realistically as possible in minimal space. I'm still relatively inexperienced at this, so I could use some help. Please let me know in the comments if you have any techniques I might use in my future builds. But don't do this until you've watched the entire video. Now, let's continue with the master bedroom on the second floor. We place the bed in the corner of the room and add the nightstand with the bedside lamp next to it. On the other side of the room, we place a nice blue wardrobe with a TV screen on top, facing the bed. After all, there's nothing better than watching TV from bed, right? We put the wall construction back in place and finish the floor with tiles. The house is really starting to come to life if you ask me. Let's take a moment to closely look at all the rooms. The house is really starting to gain atmosphere and is beginning to resemble a real home. I try to replicate all the rooms and elements of a real house as accurately as possible. Now that the second floor is fully completed, we move on to the third floor, where 2 rooms will be created. A bedroom for the son and a quiet study for the father of the house. After all, working from home should be done in a peaceful environment, right? We place an office chair at the desk and put the wall construction in place. This construction is different from the one on the second floor because the stairs end in a different spot on this floor. As a result, the shape of the rooms is different from the one on the floor below. We also finish this floor with light brown tiles and place the father behind his desk so he can finish his work. The house is really starting to take shape. Just imagine how many bricks it took to create this building. If you were to order all the bricks online, you'd quickly spend between $300 and $400. Furnishing LEGO buildings not only takes a lot of time but also money. But furnishing the buildings adds so much more character that I will definitely continue with this. After this building, we still have 3 more to go, and we need to finish the entire street. There's still a long way to go, but it's going to be amazing, trust me. We stack the floors on top of each other, ensuring that the stair openings align properly. Now that all the floors are done, we place the attic in its spot, but of course not before we've furnished it. The roof can easily be removed, and we furnish the attic with a cozy fireplace and a table surrounded by 4 chairs. It's a cozy space where the son can retreat with his friends, away from his meddling parents. But the parents also make use of this cozy spot. They play a game of cards while enjoying a nice drink. This is the 4th floor, fully furnished. In total, the house has 6 different rooms, including the living room and attic. We place the roof back on the attic, allowing you to see that the roof is equipped with 2 chimneys to guide the smoke from the fireplace outside. Now, it's time to place the final part of this building back in place, and we secure the stairs in their spot. Now we can clearly see how the final result has turned out. Personally, I'm very happy with how it's come together. It wasn't an easy build, but it was definitely worth all the effort. We placed the 4 different parts on top of each other one last time, and then it's time to set the first house in the street in place. I can already imagine better how the street will look once all the buildings are built next to each other. The narrow and tall structures add a lot of variety to this part of the city, and I can't wait until all the buildings are there. Want to see that too? Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any updates. We take a look at the historical building from all angles. And now I'd like to draw your attention to the following. If you want more details on how I come up with all my designs and how I buy my LEGO in the most cost-effective way, become a member of my channel and get access to exclusive videos that only members can view. In these videos, I show you how I purchase all my LEGO and how you can do it in the most cost-effective way to build as efficiently as possible. So become a member, and for now, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next update.